And now let us discuss what we're jamming on now. Jay, what are you jamming on now, buddy?
Some more bucket pizza, man. Give some of that. More respect to that. If anybody's doing that, we talked about it. I know it's been revived. So let us know if you or your kids got down on that. The revived version.
I would love to. Is it just? I wonder if they're doing the exact. Oh, you said you did it. Are they doing the exact same? Is it literally the exact same button with stickers, or it's got to be an app?
I did not see a button, but like I definitely like the same logo, everything. I was like, "Whoa, look at that!" You know.
So how do you track it then? How as the individual?
So the last time we saw it, I don't think my kids did it. Like they brought it home. But they did like a different one through the library instead. And so they got Storm tickets. So the Seattle WNBA game. So I'm going to take them to that pretty soon. Excited about that. But they did not actually do the book it thing. It's been a couple years, so I don't remember how they did it.
Okay. Gotta get in. I want to see the app. Screenshot the app. It's got to have an app now. If it doesn't have an app, it'll blow my mind. Anyways, what are you jamming on now?
Oh man. So we finished the Diablo 4 campaign. Super happy because now we can actually level up again. My only complaint is the leveling system. Like Courtney and I like to go through everything. We like to explore the whole map, do all the side quests, like explore everything explore a whole area before we kind of move on. But once we found out from coworkers who'd already beat the game, like, hey, you're penalized. Like you're just not going to level any up past 50. And we were already at 40 and still in Act 1. And there's like 6 acts to beat the game. And that's the acts are the main campaign.
Sounds like my demeo problem.
Oh, man. So we're just stuck. We're just like, all right, I guess we just got to power through. So on one hand, I'm like, great, we get to like advance. Now that'd be cool. But on the other hand, we would pass events and like big dungeons that I wanted to go in, which normally we would absolutely hit every one of them. But now it's like, nope, we got to just follow the story. I'm like, fuck, man. And it still took us hours and hours. So like, I'm happy that there is a lot of story there for you to kind of go through. But at the same time, I'm mad because now.
And these are actually like significant story offshoots, or fucking.
I mean,
bullshit. Bullshit Skyrim side quests, like go fucking cave and kill 7 spiders.
Some of them are the bullshit kill quests, but others are like you feel like they're definitely part of the story. Like I'm going back to this certain place because it was like a really cool part in the story, and it's a kind of a nice launching point for other dungeons or like these big outposts that kind of pop up. So it's exciting. It's fun to do the side quest here. They're not like other games where it's like it's a game-by-game decision, right? Based on whether or not you do all the side quests or just don't. If they're like BS, a lot of times like, nope, the story's awesome, forget all this nonsense. Some games, like Horizon Zero Dawn, I definitely wanted to do the side quests because they seemed cool. They were like a part of the story. I would get stuff, so it's a game-by-game decision. Here, absolutely love them. So we beat the story. I'm glad to be done with that because it was a cool story. But I'm also excited to go back now. And, we raise the world tier, so enemies are much more difficult now, but we'll get even higher level gear than was possible, and we'll continue to level up for the end game. So I'm excited to actually go through, do all that stuff. And then, like, separate to that, they have seasons, which, like, seasons in PvP games make sense. Battle Royale games make sense. I'm like, how are they doing a season here? But after you complete the campaign, since we just did, we've unlocked the seasonal content, which you have to create a new character for. But it's like all this, like your map is still there, but like all this new shit has just happened. And like all these brand new types of events and things are going on now that you can only access and this new content with this new character in this. So it's very fascinating because on one hand, I'm very excited to get back with my main character, continue to level up, get this awesome gear for the end game, and kind of do all the side stuff.
Are they charging for some BattleNet shit or anything? Are they?
No, this is a part of it. Like this is just the next DLC. So separately, I got this new character that I'm excited for all this completely brand new stuff. So there's just so much content, but it's like different content. Like we have the solo side dungeons, but then you have this much bigger, broad, event-based multiplayer things happening in the seasonal content in the same land. And so it's exciting, man. I'm very pumped to have finished the campaign and to be able to move on now. So there's a lot going on. Very much worth it, I say. Very much.
Okay.
So after that, if you're looking behind me, this is a screenshot from Exoprimal. This is a new game that dropped on Game Pass, and it's fun because I saw... What a game. I mean, I saw previews for it, a couple months ago. And it's funny because what they were showing at the time was a crossover between Street Fighter and Exoprimal. So they're like, I guess at some point later, those characters are going to be coming in for something. So I was like, whoa, what is this? And so the game dropped. Obviously, that part's not even available yet, but it dropped in Game Pass. And I'm like, what are we doing here? So this game is like, it's like a third-person multiplayer shooter. And you have these exoskeletons, and basically you're killing dinosaurs. Like, the main gameplay loop is that you're killing dinosaurs. Excuse me. But it's because there's like this rogue AI that keeps pulling these exo fighters into a time loop to continue to have them fight dinosaurs, which is weird in concept, but there's a story reason behind it. And as you continue to do this, you keep learning more to the story, recovering different diskettes actually.
Oh man,
that you're plugging into the mainframe to figure out what the hell is happening.
That's where if you want to take down the AI, you got to get to the mainframe for sure.
Exactly. What have we learned? This is what pop culture has taught us. So yeah, it's odd because you're fighting dinosaurs over and over. The matches are fun. You're just killing. You're grabbing different kinds of exosuits, like in a typical support tank DPS kind of manner. And so that's kind of fun. But I've also heard that you're doing that over and over. If if the story's really not getting you, if you're not really interested to see where this rogue AI thing is going and where the story's going, I can see how it could get repetitive. But I've also read that once you get a certain way into the story, so much more is available because of what it unlocks. So it's just like it really is a sense of like, hey, you really got to get there before, or you're really able to play the game. So I'm excited.
Dinosaurs are super fun. Is it a varied, how are the dinosaurs? I guess really, are they doing the dinosaurs justice? Are they varied and well modeled? I guess is really what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, they definitely have your little tiny like whatever kind of pond, I don't know, knee high, 3 foot high dinosaurs, all the way up to giant. You got your T-Rexes, your Triceratops. You have these, and you can actually take control of one and go fight the other team who also is trying to do the same thing. So it's very interesting. It's different, and like I said, it's I'm into it. I'm having the patience. I'm reading the story, actually paying attention, so it's keeping me hooked rather than the normal just give me the action and move on kind of thing, because you will miss it if you do that in this. Another game, Lego 2K Drive. So
fucking Lego games,
dude. Right. So another game I found through work, but this is a really, really solid friggin' racing game, man. It's a Lego version of the critically acclaimed Forza series made couch co-op. So I've said before, obviously Forza 5, the best racing game out there. That my only downside is man, if I want to play it with somebody, I got to play it on another Xbox. It's not couch co-op. And I only say that because I love playing couch co-op racing games. But this is a Lego version that is couch co-op, basically of that. It's open story world racing, doing racing events, the same kind of stuff you do in Forza, just with the fun whimsicalness of Lego crashing into things and what that does to you and everything. And it's really fun. So if you ever want to play a racing game on the Xbox, absolutely play Lego 2K Drive. If you're looking for something that's not,
if you've lent out your copy of Super Off-Road and you're really jonesing for some racing, that's a good side alternative. With a friend.
Yeah. Couch co-op with a friend, totally worth it. And then after that, man, so I've been playing a little bit of that with the kids because it's a blast. Even going through, they even have a story with that, which is a fun little twist on it. It's not just, hey, you're doing these races like in Forza. There's there's a through story as well, which is really fun. You have these like rivals you get to take out. Once you take them out, you get their car to race with. So it's really fun. There's a lot of little complexities to it. Like it's a much more involved game than I thought, because I feel like I have never even heard of this game, and it came across my radar, you know, because there are so many Lego games at this point. But I thought I'd kind of seen all of them, and maybe I just didn't really think of this because I'm like, racing, whatever. But there's a lot to it. Like, if you are a fan of racing and you have a friend play with you, definitely check it out.
Legos are a thing. I loved Legos, so I mean, I've never really. They don't do anything for me in a game setting, I don't think. But the idea of Legos, like the castle Legos from our, mid to late 80s dude, I was just so fucking into them as a kid. And that's something I would love. It would probably be so expensive, but it would be a really cool collecting thing, I think, to get like those old sets of, the castle ones. And there was another one I liked. The space ones were fun too, actually. That was the other one. The guy had some space ones as well.
Dude.
Yeah, and they're fucking, before they got, like, I remember my boy AGB and I, was weird. I mean, we were still in middle school, I think, and like for some reason we got on some little Lego kick in middle school, like short-lived, but like a Lego kick. And we were like, bought a few sets of those, the castle ones. But even by then, this would have been, 93, 94? They were way different. They were, like, more, I don't know, they were less Lego-y. They tried to make them more ornate, and by doing, the way they do that is by kind of, like, making bigger panels that they could paint with a little more flourish, a little more fucking pizzazz to them. And, no, I want the ones where you just literally, it was just building little blocks that were colored, and you built whole things, and that was fucking. There were some. I remember I had this little catapult that was amazing, dude. It actually worked. You could you build a catapult out of little tiny Legos that would fucking actually wing things, and that shit would be really fun. But yeah, I bet those sets, the complete sets of those fucking things, are probably from the 80s, are probably so expensive, because
the complete sets of everything are so expensive.
Right, but Legos in particular, I mean, you got to be realistic. It's like they're
so expensive.
You're to not lose one piece as a kid in the 80s.
It's impossible.
Not happening. so like complete sets are probably
real sets don't exist.
Yeah, they exist. Some fucking psychopath somewhere has them, but they probably are so expensive. Not to mention, if they're really expensive, you could just probably 3D print a perfect Lego, even with the branding on the top of the little nubs.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem. So fucking even if they're tough to track down in their entirety, someone's thought to start replicating them. And how would you know? Anyways, Legos are fun.
Are you kidding me? My son has like almost every Lego Mario set that exists right now. Like it's like a fully functioning Lego level. Mario level made out of Legos. Like,
yeah, I played demeo last night, and the fucking one of the guys in the game was saying that that's what he does, man. That's like
that's what he does.
Job. He sells Legos on eBay, and it's. I mean, I'm sure he's not fucking a millionaire or anything. Well, I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know, but
I have oddly heard about that, and I don't know why.
Well, they're lucrative as fuck. People are fucking madmen about them, man. Especially the ones that. The branded ones, the Star Wars and shit, those motherfuckers are in line at fucking Target, and like they fucking buy them out and create demand, and it's a whole all those fucking everything sucks now. You can't do it, and nothing can be cool. Everything's got to be ruined by shithead fuckfaces that are ruining everything.
Somebody's always trying to make a quick buck,
right?
Yeah. So outside of Lego goodness, the last game, of course, I had to pick up the VR a bit with my time off lately. And, my monthly poker game and recent loss, not making it to the final 3, which I normally do, had me itching for some more action. So Poker Stars VR felt like the closest thing that I could get to reality. So I was on there the other day.
Well, motherfuckers play that shit for sure. I see people talking about it.
I was playing for a while and had a good time, man. I don't know how long I played, but I played it for a good while.
Do they actually?
It was a blast.
Are they? I mean, how? I don't know, man. Poker, because unless it's actually like depicting face tracking. Like, the whole, to me, I don't know, the whole thing of poker, the card game is the most boring thing ever. Like, what would make poker even kind of interesting is the interpersonal exchanges that you're reading and trying to pick up on and making fucking strategic determinations off of. Without that part of poker, like, oh my god, I can't imagine anything more boring to me.
Well, to somebody who actually likes the game.
Do they work that in any? Well, I'm asking, do they work that in any way?
No, I mean, like, everybody you have your avatar that you
and there's no movement. You can't even see. You can't even
so, like,
see hands
people,
fidgeting or anything.
People definitely are moving. Like, your fingers and stuff move, like, to pick up the cards and move them. So, like, your whole body is moving the whole time. So that was the thing about it. Like, obviously, your face is going to be your face, but, like, people's heads and everything else are moving around as they're talking. So it really kind of still gave off that vibe of, like, I wish this mofo would shut up. These two are cool over here. This person gestures a lot, but they don't talk. And you know what I mean? And just, I was still able to pick up, like, this person's clearly on tilt. You know what I mean? Like, so it was still a good time. I could see how if you had, like, a group of people you knew and you couldn't get together and you wanted to try, or you just have, all have the headset and you're able to jump on and do that, how you can still have a good time, you know? So, yeah, man. That is all about my time. What about you? What have you been jamming on?
The big thing was that Pixel Ripped 1978, which I finished it. It's good. I will almost certainly play the 90s one. Nice. 95, Pixel Ripped 95 or something like that. The boss battle, I mean, I talked about them a little bit last time, but the boss battles are really interesting and well done. And I think I said this exact thing, but I can see why this has caught on. They rely so heavily on this multitasking thing where you had to both play a game on a console with your hands in the game, or eventually they would come out, the boss battle development would have stages and, like, it would start in a TV and then work its way out into the space, and you're playing it kind of like in the space in a 3D way. So there's that, like, progression of the battles, but also they would couple that with people or things in the VR space to also deal with. So think, like, the first boss battle, you're playing like it's kind of like a spacey shoot a fucking flying saucer kind of game on a screen, and then it comes out and it kind of turns into alleyway or breakout, however you want to think of that, where you have the paddle at the bottom and you're bouncing a ball and trying to break the bricks, and the spaceship is behind the bricks, so you're trying to get the ball behind the bricks to hit the spaceship. So you're playing that, but also you have to, once the ball hits it in the game, you have to grab these paper balls in the space. So you have to let go of the controller with one hand and still be controlled. You still got to be controlling the paddle because he's shooting things that you have to deal with and the ball can't die. So you're, like, still controlling the paddle with one hand and grabbing paper balls with your other hand and trying to hit the spaceship with paper balls. So it's like this 2 mental track thing that, really hard, man. It can be really hard. The upper echelons of these things, of this mechanic or combined mechanics, would get like, shit, man, this is like you really got to focus, man. And yeah, it's just like a level of, I don't know, just focus and immersion that is really interesting and well done, and again, only irreplicable on a flat screen. So really cool. Yeah, really interesting, and I really enjoyed that. So that was a cool thing. And this, whatever, the story, it's kind of like I told you, kind of I want to compare it to that Minecraft Dungeons, both in aesthetic, which I think it very much is in line with, very close to, but also in the trivialness of that part of it. Like the part where you're going around and battling in the game, where you go into the game. Because again, that's like the whole deal is you're a developer at Atari. I said that. And then you have this wristband that allows you to actually go into the games and like work on bugs or The idea is that it allows you to go in the game code and physically, with it as an avatar in the game, fix things and repair things and whatever, explore. So you're like, that stuff, the in the game stuff, when you're in there, it's kind of trivial. I don't know. It's like Minecraft Dungeons. I told you, you were just walking around. Like, very rarely did I have to like strategize. You know what I mean? It was just like basic bitch, just smacking things. You know, and that's very much how that part of it feels. So that could be better, I guess. But you're swapping in and out of that so much that I think even if you do get a little bored by that, like I maybe was at times, you're not stuck in it for too long to make you lose interest overall, you know? So yeah, really fucking cool. And obviously there's, you know, hidden shit and like the different, you know, you get the cartridges. Like if you want, like when you're playing as her in the developer space at Atari, you know, like coworkers will like bring in a cart that they're working on. They're like, this has, like, you're like the bug expert. Like that's why your name is Bug Expert. So like if someone is stuck, one of the other coders, they'll bring in a cart and be like, hey, can you fucking, you're good at this. There's something wrong with this. Can you find it and fix it? And they'll give it to you. So once you fix those, you get like the finished game cart. So you could, like, you have the 2600 console at your desk. You could, and all the other carts that you've repaired are like sitting on the shelf beneath the console. So you could, you always have a thing that you need to be doing presently in the story or whatever. But if you want, you can just take that card out that you've been assigned or tasked with or dealing with right now and just play one of the other finished games if you want. And you have the Atari controller and you can just play, you know? So really fucking cool. Yeah, just a really, really cool idea. And it's just a one woman, I mean, it's bigger now, but the whole concept came just a one woman developer that came up with this idea and did that whole first one herself. And Atari liked it so much that they, you know, were willing to do a licensing thing with it. And yeah, just really fucking cool story and really cool output, I guess, eventually.
Nice.
So there's that. The new Walkabout course, Laser Lair. That's a themed 50-60 spy deal. There's lasers on every hole, and they will carve up your ball if it makes contact, and you lose the stroke. It's like just fucking hitting out of bounds, basically. It's a little gimmicky, I would say. Not nearly so much as Upside Downtown, but definitely not as putt-putt focused as I'd prefer. And I said this, we played, we did a run on this on the easy course, and I said, did you end up playing the hard course of that one or no?
I did not, no.
Okay. So yeah, the hard course in that one leans less on the laser shit and for its difficulty, I mean. Like the easy course is all about just like trying to avoid lasers, basically. Right. The hard course is more about using like good angles and stuff. You don't have to just time. Like I really hate those fucking timed ones where you're just hurrying yourself. I said like putt.
Like 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, putt to me is not like it's too sensitivity based, especially to be good at it, especially the way that I guess that I want to be good at putt. So I hate that rushed thing. Like that's very gimmicky to me. You seem to enjoy it though. I was gonna like, did you? You seem to really dig that one actually. Did you?
I mean, I thought it was. I liked it. I did not like the 2 holes maybe where it was just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just getting sliced over and over again.
Right.
But it was a cool course. Yeah. I would not like to play the hard one, or I wouldn't have thought to play the hard one because I would think of just much more lasers.
Yeah,
much more freaking crazy.
Yeah, I think
lasers.
that's me parroting something. I mean, I agree with it wholeheartedly. It's not me just regurgitating something with no thought to it. But I have heard some of the other podcasters mention the same, that the Let's Talk Oculus guys, maybe they said the same thing, that it, like, I thought the hard course was easier. So, and like I said, the score proved out, you know, clearly I wasn't trying to for my own fucking whatever purpose, like trying to fucking game the system and prove that by my own performance in the first time through both courses. But yeah, very much my score was lower for the hard course on the first time through than the easy one by far. Actually, I think I got like about par on my first time through the hard course, and I think it was like plus 20 or something on my first time through the easy course. So, you know.
So by that logic, since I landed even on the easy, I should get like minus 20. Let's go.
Well, no, because like I said, it's not. I think maybe I was thinking it's just. I think it maybe lends more to your kind of preferred gaming vibes, the rushness to it. You're probably more suited towards that. So you. Probably,
I guess I've done that kind of thing a lot more. Yeah, like it's like, all right, timing 1, 2. Like I can count it out in my mind. Like, all right, let's just. Yeah.
Which ones did you play, or what did you play after I jumped off?
I actually had to log off. We ended up going. Yeah, we were like, there was an art festival happening. It was like, oh, let's do that instead. So I was like, oh, okay.
Word. But cool, yeah, it's whatever. Like it's a little gimmicky. It is cool. The aesthetic's fun. It's definitely like, again, the new ones they're doing are just so bigger worlds, more stuff going on. There's like the little fucking robot helpers. In the hard one, they're like servers. They have like glassware on trays and stuff they're taking around. Pretty fucking cool. There's 2 putter hunts in this one. Got both of those. Cool putters. I got all 18 balls on the first time through. Duh, on the easy course. Yeah, I love Walkabout. Everyone knows this. So did that stuff. I'm still dipping into the coin game on occasion too. I'm up to what? I think I got a little bit over $1,000 now, so I'm almost 10% of the way to my $10,000 golf cart. Nice. Insane! It's insane. I can't believe every time, and like on top of this, that I'm inclined to turn it on at all, dude. I finish a day and I want to play another one. Like I want to play another day, and it's crazy to me that I want to do that loop over and over and over again. It's so weird because it's. Nothing is happening, but I want to do it. It's insane. It's insane. I'm up to like, dude, all time. I'm in the 40s now. I think the low 40s all time on the skee ball. Like, this is like everyone who's ever played coin game. It is a worldwide leaderboard, and I'm up to like, it's not like a, it's not season based or anything. It's not cyclical. It's like a total all time points accumulated in that particular game. So, so in one degree it's worse, in one degree it's better. That like I'm not gonna lose ranking. It's not like I'm just catching up to people that it's gonna reset or something. This is like, but I have played it enough to be in the 40s all time ever of the skee ball machine and in Larry's arcade right in the center of town there. So it's a lot of skee ball, and like I'm not even kind of sick of it.
Nice.
So yeah, still playing that, and then I mentioned I slipped back and we played a game of demeo too, and I played it the past couple of nights. I played it again too. So no new content. They need to fucking get on new content, but I have enjoyed it, picking it back up after a nice little hiatus. Probably.
I feel like I could play another round and have a completely different experience. Like there's so much more to add. Like I haven't even really played with the other characters yet. So
yeah, dude, and that's before I went on my hiatus, that's how I tried to mix it up. I started playing with Magician, and when the Barbarian came out, I played a lot with that one. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty well versed now. I think with obviously the Assassin is my historical go-to, but yeah, the Barbarian and the Magician, all 3 of them, like I played the shit out of. Now Archer a little bit, the Bard and the Guardian are the 2 that I probably, and the Warlock. I don't the Warlock. The cat thing is cool, but it's like the cat can die and then you're kind of helpless for a couple of turns. I hate that idea, so that one doesn't really appeal to me too much. But yeah, that completely changes the game for sure to play with the different characters. So yeah, if you want to mix it up, I highly recommend that.